Okay, so there are your vehicle finance. This is basically exclusively dealing with loans. And you can technically go slash mortgages. Loans slash mortgages. It works exact same way. If you want the payment of your house, take the price of the house, down payment, get that table rate. Total interest, be exactly the same, except for wherever there's a loan, replace that with mortgage. Mortgage is a loan, it's just towards real estate. Okay, but everything else, like total paid for car, you would just go total paid for house, right? Same thing. So when we review home finance, that's basically what we're gonna do. All right. What else do I need to talk about here? I think there was one formula. So again, flip through these pages. I think we're good. I guess the buying new versus used, right? I guess I'll remind you of this table here. Taxes on a vehicle, right? If it's new, you pay the 12%. If it's used from a dealership, still 12%. If it's used but private, then it's you only pay 7% on the greater of the book value / purchase price. Okay, so you have it's the greater of the two, which you're gonna see in the booklet here. So it's a long formula. I think I'm just gonna let you go get it. You should have it on your study sheet anyways. We need to talk. You're gonna need to review fuel economy. It's towards the end of that booklet. And fuel economy, right? Fuel economy is always liters that you've used over kilometers driven, right? Times 100. Okay, and this is always in. This is going to be a rate, right? And with fuel economy given, so let's say there's an example of 9 liters per 100 kilometers, right? With that, you can calculate, right? Calculate liters needed to travel a certain distance. A distance. A certain distance. Maybe I'll zoom into this part as well. And then, so that's bullet 1. Cost of the travel would be liters times dollars per liter. And if they ever ask you, find the cost of that trip, right? You take the liters that you would need for that trip and then multiply it by the dollar amount per liter. Notice that if you go back to the bullets that I have on top there, if you read those bullets, they are there for a reason. Right, so you got to know purchasing new versus used, the pros and the cons, right? I should also write down lease versus finance. Maybe write that down as well. Leasing, you don't really own the car ever. And financing, right? You do still make payments, but you end up owning the car in the long run. Depreciation, you need to look that up, right? How to calculate depreciated value and the total depreciation. Okay, so you need to look what's out for that. Make sure that's on your study sheet. All right. And there are old tests, right? There are old. You probably got some a quiz back there. You have your booklets. You have a lot of useful resources. You probably have a video that reviews vehicle finance towards the end, so you can look that up as well. So now I want to draw your attention to, let's go to page 15 in that yellow booklet, and we start with vehicle finance. Okay? You need to work through it. Maybe at first you do the ones you can, and then you come back with and deal with the ones you cannot do, right? And I'm gonna make this a little bit of a hands-off approach, and I did tell you to bring your booklets and whatnot, right? We'll do vehicle finance. Tomorrow, I might give you a small little AC on vehicle finance just to rehash, right? We start off with that because most questions, it's going to be a little bit heavier on vehicle finance compared to the rest. And then tomorrow I'll do geometry and trigonometry. We'll do both, 2 units, so that because they are lumped together, and then you kind of get a head start on the second test already. Also remember that you're kind of going to be on your own for that second test, right? Because Saturday and Sunday I'm not going to be coming online and teaching you, right? Like, so the first test I kind of prepared you. The second one you're going to have to study on your own, except for Monday when we come back. I think I will focus on home finance a little bit more, making sure that your home finance is up to date. And you will get the tests back probably by tomorrow at some point. If not, if I have to wait, then obviously Monday, but I'm hoping to have them back to you maybe even Friday after you write your first cumulative, right? Okay, enough of me talking, so just work through this. So add leasing. Okay. So have your calculators ready. But the key is online, okay? Remember that, folks. So we have a new vehicle, very important, worth 34 grand. Depreciation is 25 per year. Calculate the value after 2 years. So we'll do it this way. Never add taxes to a depreciation question. This is year 1, value lost. Take away the 8,500. That's 25,500. Figure out 25% again. That's 6,375. I will subtract that again because that's going to give me the value, which is 19,125. This is what they're after. This is year 1. This is year 2. Okay, but they want the value of the car. Value after 2 years. Okay, next page. Fuel economy, 12 liters per 100. The driving distance across lake is 258. Calculate the liters required. Just the answer, or so to do the liters, guys, use the fuel economy. You're using 12 liters per 100 kilometers. Start with that. And then on the other side, you go equals. The distance is 258 kilometers. You want to find out how many liters, right? X number of liters. So cross multiply and divide. So it's 258 times 12 divided by 100. 30.96 liters. Don't round. Okay? Keep it like that. The cost of gas is $1.19 per liter. Calculate the total cost of the trip. You take the liters that you need. You multiply it by 1.19 in this case. That's $36.84. That's what they want there. 1 mark for that. All of this is in the booklets that I'm giving you. Next page. Easy peasy, this one. Justify why someone should finance the purchase of a vehicle instead of leasing. So you want to justify, right? Financing allows you to eventually own the vehicle. Okay. You can also say that you can modify a car, you can modify the vehicle if you finance, right? You can add a muffler, a lift kit, you can put LED lights, right? You can do whatever you want and not worry about returning it at the end of the lease, right? You can sell it, right, whenever you want, right? Anytime. You can sell it and pay your loan off and be done with it, move on to the next car. And so forth. So let's do this here. What's an advantage of leasing? So I'm going to flip this. Justify why you should lease. You know what the best one is? The most appealing to anybody leasing is lower monthly payments. Because if you go buy a brand new car, or you go lease that exact same new car, you're going to pay less a month if you go leasing. Because you're only financing a little bit, right? You're not paying for the whole thing. You can say no hassle when returning. No hassle returns. That's of course if you kept it clean. Disadvantage of leasing. Oh, I will do that up here. No mileage charge. You remember that? That would be an advantage of financing. You don't have to worry about the extra mileage charge. Okay? So I did both here, leasing, and I justified both. Next page. Arjun takes his truck to the repair shop because he needs a new radiator, new headlight. The repair shop charges, watch this, $85 per hour for labor. And here are our charges. Okay, so what I'm going to do is let's just add it up. So parts would be, in this case, easy to do, 660, right? Labor in total, 2 hours. Okay, so parts and labor would be like this. $660 for the parts plus 2 hours times the rate, which is $85 an hour at the shop. Okay, so the 660, and so this would be labor, and this is parts. Right, you just add that up. So 660 plus 170, right? That's 830. Let's look at the question, what the question says. After tax, what does parts and labor get taxed? It gets taxed 12%. If you don't know this, the yellow formula sheet has that, okay? So times 1.12. So that's 929.60 after tax. So if you did not do taxes, you would have gotten 2 out of 3 marks here. Okay, so anything you can do gets you partial marks. So don't leave a question blank. No, these are yours to keep. So parts and labor always 12%. Safety only 5%. A used car private is 7%. The greater of, and make sure you have those formulas in, okay, and you're on your study sheet. Next page. Here we go. This is where you want to have your formulas. Okay? You're purchasing a used car privately. The car is right. The car is valued at $5,000. The book value is $5,500. There's also a $45 charge for safety inspection. Calculate the total after tax. Okay. When it's a car question, folks, and we break it down, don't end up multiplying it by 1.12 again at the end. Don't double tax. Okay. So use private, it's the price plus book slash price times 0.07 because you pay PST on that, plus safety times 1.05, parts, if there are any, I'm going to run out of room here, times 1.12. Sorry about that. Oh, I'm missing one. What am I missing in this formula? Do you remember this one? The lien search? But that doesn't get taxed. You would just add it. No taxes on a lien, okay? So my bad. Make sure you have that. So in this case, use private. You take the price of the car plus which one is greater. In this case, the book value is. So we got to use that one. There's a safety, which gets GST only. Okay. There's no parts, no lien. That's it. Oops. 5,000 plus. That's 385 plus 47.25. And then add it all up. after tax. Do not multiply that by 1.12. Okay, if you do one of these, after doing all of that, you kind of you're double taxing big time. Also, if you need another blue sheet, front card there are a stack of blue sheets there. You can take one and get it ready. Last kick at the can, guys. Question 19. You buy a new car. If you have a highlighter on this day, that'd be great. Right, new car for that much. Dealership agreed, right, to accept Mary's old car for a trade-in valued at $1,340. Calculate the total cost after taxes. Can I just say something? Every once in a while, the province or myself, it just asks for taxes, not the whole thing, just the taxes. So be careful with that. So here we go. This is new. Okay, we take the price of the car. You want to subtract the trade-in first. Okay, that is the kicker. That is a full mark for doing that right. Take the trade-in, then you multiply by 1.12. So it's 20,870 times 1.12. It's 23,374.40. The most important piece about trade-in is do it before taxes are added. We're almost done. 2 questions. One is multiple choice and one is a short answer. And then make sure both of these keys are online under Google Classroom. Just look at keys for exams or something like that. And I actually labeled pink and yellow. Choose the letter that best completes the statement below. Carl drives his vehicle to school twice a month. Not very often. Insurance agent should recommend all-purpose, pleasure, layup, no insurance. Well, no insurance is definitely a no. Layup, you cannot drive it. You can just park it on your driveway, I may add. So it's between all-purpose and pleasure. Because you're only driving twice a month, you could actually recommend pleasure because it's cheaper. Okay. You can only drive here and there, so pleasure is the answer. Tia is leasing a new truck. Oh, leasing, right? Leasing. Her monthly lease payment is $349. Watch this, after tax, meaning $349 already has taxes in it, right? For 4 years. Her down payment is $2,000. Calculate the total leasing cost after 4 years. Total lease. We don't need to add taxes to the payment, so we'll just go $349 times 12 times 4, and we'll add the down payment because that's part of the lease, right? It's 16,752 plus 2,000, and that's 18,750. Never tax your down payment, right? When it's lease. So so no tax. on the down payment. So every question like this is testing something particular, like, are you going to lump this all up and then possibly add taxes? Because, right, it's not added. But if the 349 said before taxes, you would have first had to add the taxes, then do all of this, okay? So you got to watch out for the wording. Oh, and that's it. That's it. I'm just quickly going to glance over the pink one. If you go to, I hope you did the probability under the pink one, because I think it's pretty good. Okay, but here's vehicle finance. There's trade-in here, right? It's a new car with some trade-in, but you're also adding some extra options. One disadvantage of buying a used vehicle. There's another depreciation here, right? Question 15, only after 1 year, so it's a little easier. State 2 reasons why you should not lease a vehicle, right? So 2 marks, guys, 2 marks for that. There's another fuel economy question. 3 marks. The cost of the trip is again there. So that one you can just look up. There's a payment question, right? Figuring out the monthly payment. Oh, question? This one? Okay. Total interest.
First month's payment, I used the interest that's there, so it's 604. And in the key, it says 4 cents. And I don't get it. Like,
so are you talking?
Cents,
are you talking B here?
Yes.
So B is asking interest paid over 5 years, so that'll be the TI, not the total interest for that one. If it's first month payment, it will actually say something about first month's payment. Or are we not looking at the same? Yours doesn't? Uh-oh. Can you tell me the year?
2016.
June 2016?
Yeah. Page 3?
No, this is page 19. I think yours is home finance, Kayla. But let's look at home finance. You wanna? Okay. So you were talking about this one here, right? And it's not matching. Yeah, because they're using they go 4 divided by 100, which is 0.04. Yeah. So you always have got to divide that by 100, which my formula should have had, right? It says interest rate divided by 100, right? So that's why they do that. Yeah, no problem. Yeah. These booklets? Should I say yes? No, this is, see, I'm just gonna